worldwide movement. Peace, love, respect. Big King Sadiq hollering at you one more again. All right. Man, another beautiful day. It is evening when I'm hollering at you now, but still beautiful, right? Got a nice sunset in the distance. All right. Thank you all again for checking me out. I love each and every one of you and appreciate you truly, my people. We're doing it. We're doing it. Let me say it like that. And I appreciate you all for truly helping to build the worldwide movement. Peace, love, respect. All right. Please help me to continue to do that and to continue to get the message out there. Please like, share, subscribe. And yeah, let's continue building this thing, right? All right. So this is a quick one, but important. It's on multidimensional dreaming, right? And it's an interesting subject. It really is. I think, for one, scientists don't quite agree on exactly what dreaming is. But I think for our purposes, we should take a more in-depth look at it by looking at what sleeping is, because dreaming does not occur until you are asleep, quite obviously, right? Unless you're talking about daydreaming, which people have other terms for that as well. But no, really, sleeping, quite simply, is a biophysiological process that is a necessity in relationship to your physical vessel being able to contain your life force, right? Or your spirit, or your energetic presence or body, however you want to term that. So, your soul, however you want to term that, right? Folks, your spirit is big. It truly is an enormous power, an enormous energetic entity, right? And that's a lot for your body to house for any one length of time, right? And your body has to maintain a certain energetic force to your biosphere, which we spoke previously about the fact that your biosphere is the electromagnetic field that is emitted from your body, from your heart center. And well, in fact, all of your cells are electromagnetic and contribute to that field. But yeah, that field has to hold a certain strength, right? A certain charge to it, if you will, in order to be able to house your spiritual energy, right? So what you essentially have is almost like your body battery getting low, right? I don't know how many of you are old enough to remember or were interested in it enough to remember Ultraman back in the day, right? One of my favorite cartoons. It wasn't actually, well, there was a cartoon developed eventually, but it was more like a live action sort of a show, like watching a Godzilla movie, right? But Ultraman, he was essentially charged by the sun, by solar energy, and he had to maintain a certain charge, a certain level to hold his form as Ultraman. And when that energetic level would get too low for him to hold that form, he had like a little warning that would go off, like almost like a little light in his chest or something like that. I forget what it was, but it would be this little warning would go off, and he knew he would only have a certain amount of time in order to conclude his combat, so to speak, before he lost his form. Well, that's a nice little story or analogy to talk about how we maintain our animated corporeal form, right? It's again by us maintaining that charge. So when that charge gets too low, we have to rest and go to sleep while that charge replenishes. Now remember that your body is very much in tune and intertwined with the planet, right? And the planet has its own electromagnetic field, which is immensely powerful, as you would imagine. Your body interacts with that electromagnetic field, and it helps to replenish your body's electromagnetic field while you sleep, right? I mean, this is all, if you understand, right, it's kind of common sense. But yeah, so while you're sleeping and your body is replenishing, what does your spirit or your soul do? It vacates the body to give the body an opportunity to do so, right? An opportunity to recharge or replenish. So when your spirit vacates your body, what does it do? Well, you're now in non-corporeal form again, and your consciousness in non-corporeal form is then free to traverse wherever you manifest it to traverse. But again, remember, I told you that your manifestation abilities are enacted both consciously and subconsciously, and most of the time it's subconsciously, playing out your issues, right? Which is why many times in your dreams you play out your issues. That is your subconscious manifesting or directing your spirit to a different dimensional experience based on the issues that you have within your subconscious, right? That you're working through or dealing through. And if not that, then you're free to traverse pretty much as you may desire, right? And I have personally developed the ability, and actually I'd done this years ago, the ability to actually focus enough and concentrate on what I will dream about, and that in fact becomes my dream. I don't know if anybody else has that ability or when you may have developed it, but I honestly developed that ability uh, well over 20 years ago, maybe 25 plus years ago, right? And it's now gotten far more intricate, which brings us into this video, right? Multidimensional dreaming. So you are multidimensional when you're dreaming, because again, you are having a different dimensional experience, which is that reality, that dimensional reality you are experiencing in your dream. Now, one of the abilities I was referring to that I've personally developed is the ability to sort of drag that that other dimensional reality for a brief time into my experience in this dimensional reality for a brief time with clarity. I think all of us experience that temporarily when we're like first waking up. You're in that transition between the reality that you were just experiencing and the reality that you're waking up to. But I have developed the ability to sort of drag or hold that other experience a little bit longer so that I can examine it, gain insight from it, and use it as added wisdom. And it's been quite beneficial for me. And likely many others have that ability or will soon develop it, right? But yeah, our dreams are indeed a multi-dimensional experience. And you can develop, the more you focus on it, at least it's been my experience, quite a few abilities relative to that experience or traversing those experiences. Um, another ability I've developed, actually, again, this is another one I had developed years ago or a long time ago. Um, well, first of all, I guess I should have started with lucid dreaming is something that I have been experiencing intermittently probably all of my life. I mean, incredibly lucid dreaming. I had HD before HD was out, baby. I'm telling you, incredibly lucid dreaming. Um, that's just been something that's been a lifetime experience of mine. But getting back to another one of the abilities I've developed, and this one has happens to particularly be one I developed a long time ago as well, probably 25 plus years as well, um, is the start and stop function, I like to say. If I have a dream that I particularly enjoy, right, I have many times during that transitional period, or even a little after, or even getting up long enough to go to the bathroom, come back and go back to sleep, or even as long as getting up, going to the bathroom, maybe going to get a drink of water, and then going back to sleep, and still been able to pick up on that dream where I left off at, believe it or not. I don't know how that sounds to some folks. There may be other people who enjoy and experience that ability, or others who may develop it. But yeah, that's something I've been able to do for quite a while. Um, I'm trying to think of some other sort of multi-dimensional dream experience related abilities that I might be able to list. I'm sure there's others, but um, I guess dream recall, right? Being able to, so there's lucid dreaming, and then there's being able to recall in the specific aspects of your dream with lucid recollection, right? And I have at least developed that far more acutely in recent years. Um, Trying to think of some other. I guess that's all that comes to mind in terms of abilities relative to that multi-dimensional experience. But yeah, man, our dreams are and should serve as very powerful tools to help us develop our insight and to help us acutely sharpen our ability to observe things and to analyze things from multiple perspectives, right? Which is very important, a very useful and powerful tool the more you refine it. Um, like that old phrase, being able to walk a mile in the next man's moccasins. Part of that is just empathy and compassion, and another part of it is, again, refining that ability to be able to change your perspective, and utilizing dreams and the insight that we get from dreams, um, from that multidimensional experience or reality, is a uh, very efficient way, a very proficient way in acutely sort of sharpening our ability to 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 utilize the power of perspective of that tool. So yeah, um, try to really focus, as much as you can, first on recalling. I would say that's probably one of the first steps you want to really focus on is lucid dream recollection. You know, because the more you can recall from your dreams, obviously the more you have to analyze, gain insight from, and use in whatever way you choose to use it. So I would recommend folks to start there. But yeah, and those other tools as well, you know, just focus and try it out and see what you can do if you want. You know, that's just my recommendation that you do, because it's something that I think we all have the ability to do or to utilize, and I think it can be beneficial. I really think, I know that it has been for me very beneficial in gaining, again, some very deep insight, some powerful insight, um, and adding to my wisdom and my ability uh, to use the powerful tool of perspective, right, and being able to shift perspectives. All right, I guess that's all I have on on this subject. But I thank you folks for checking us out, checking out the worldwide movement as we're building exponentially every day because of you. Please continue to like, share, subscribe, and let's continue to build this worldwide movement. Peace, love, respect. Big King Sadiq, I'm out.